14 amazing facts about ants that will surprise you. Ants, scientifically known as Formicidae, belong to the insect family and belong to the order of membranous wings. Ants are one of the most highly social insects, with a large ant colony that can number up to millions. They operate with many separate operating mechanisms and all form a unified whole. According to statistics, there are about 12,500 species of ants in the world, and they're distributed mainly on tropical and subtropical regions. However, you can find them everywhere in the world except for regions with too harsh climates, such as Antarctica, Iceland, etc. Let's discover the top 14 amazing facts about ants that will surprise you. Number 1. Ants with record bite speed. Central American ants have powerful trap-like jaws that can bite with a force 300 times their body weight. Their jaws closed at a speed of more than 100 km per hour, a record for the speed of moving body parts in the animal world. By biting into the ground, they can propel themselves high when danger approaches. Therefore, uninvited guests to the nest of this fierce ant will have to receive a terrible death. Number 2. Ant senses. An ant's main sense is the need for an antenna. Ants have two antennae right in front of their heads. These two antennae are the organs of smell, hearing, and touch. A healthy ant can be easily identified by looking at the antenna, which moves non-stop. Thanks to these two antennae, the ants can smell the air, check for food, communicate, determine direction, find food, and recognize other species. Some scientists think that in an ant nest, they secrete a specific smell to recognize each other. In addition, ants also have tactile organs in the mouth and several other places on the body. These organs are small hairs and spines. Number 3. Burial service in the anthill. Ants also have a funeral service. If there is a dead ant in the ant colony, other ants will carry the dead ant out of the nest to ensure that the nest is always clean and to avoid spreading disease and infection. However, this task will be assigned to a specialized ant to undertake. Number 4. Effective communication among ants. To guide and teach each other how to find prey, ants have applied the technique of running after each other. This ant guides other ants to crawl from their nest to where there is food. The leading ants will slow down if the latter are left too far behind, and they will speed up if the distance between them is too short. Professor Nigel Frank said, "Teaching each other to be ants is not simply imitation. Ants are animals with brains that are millions of times smaller than humans, but they're very good at teaching and learning." Number 5. Do ants sleep? Unlike us, the sleep cycle of ants does not depend on day or night. The sleeping hours of this little animal are also not as fixed as ours. They sleep very randomly. Queen ants usually sleep more than 90 times per day, each for about 6 minutes. Thus, the queen ant sleeps about 9 hours a day. Worker ants usually sleep 250 times a day, each time sleeping for more than 1 minute, which is equivalent to about 4 hours and 48 minutes a day. This is also the reason why worker ants have a shorter lifespan than queen ants. Normally, a queen can live up to 6 years on average. Some queens can live up to 45 years. Meanwhile, worker ants can only live up to 6 months. This difference, although harsh, is in accordance with the laws of nature. Worker ants work, protecting the nest and the queen. The queen ant reproduces, ensuring the life of the whole colony. Number 6. Ants lived in the dinosaur era. Ants evolved 130 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. Fossil evidence of this insect is found in ancient blocks of amber or fossilized tree sap. The oldest known and now extinct ant fossil, Sphaerocomirma frey, was found at Cliffwood Beach, New Jersey, USA. Although this fossil is only about 92 million years old, it is clear evidence that ancient and modern ants share a common origin and are not much different. This also shows that evolution took place earlier than previously thought, and scientists believe that the appearance of ants on Earth was 130 million years ago and that ants lived at the same time as the dinosaurs. Number 7. Ant reproduction. Most ants are wingless. When they live in the nest for a long time and are sheltered, this place will create wings for them. For a short time each year, usually during warm or hot seasons, ants fill the sky. Those are the male and female adult reproductive ants that are mating. After mating, the male dies. The wings of the males fall off, plus their muscle is the life-sustaining food for the female to produce the first worker ants. These worker ants go to feed for their offspring and for the queen. Some workers are biased to protect the nest, they grow very quickly. Some species defend their nests by injecting and biting acid into their enemies. Some species use their teeth to drive other ants out of their nests. Number 8. The organization of ants. Usually there are about 100,000 ants in a colony, but all of them have only one mother, called a queen. The ants that we often see with the naked eye are worker ants. Their job is to take care of the queen ant, incubate the eggs, transfer the eggs, raise the baby ants, find food, dig the ground to build the nest, and guard the nest. All these worker ants are female, but they cannot reproduce because their sex structure is not fully developed. The ants in each nest are distinguished from other species of the same species by smell. The female queen lives in the queen's room in the middle of the nest, laying eggs for the rest of her life. Those eggs will later become, quote, members of the nest. Number 9. Ants can carry more than 50 times their body weight. A mechanical and aerospace engineer at Ohio State University, Columbus, once said, "We expected to be able to withstand 1,000 times our body weight, and we didn't think ants at first either have any special abilities, but they took everyone by surprise." Castro also researched and showed that neck joint of a field ant can withstand a weight 5,000 times its body mass. However, 1,000 or 5,000 is the maximum weight ants can bear, and the weight they can lift and move is 50 to 70 times their body weight. This is equivalent to an adult being able to lift a small truck weighing 2 to 5 tons. Meanwhile, the new world record only records someone pulling a truck with such weight over a short and flat distance. Meanwhile, ants lift heavy pieces of food and travel long distances to the nest through bumpy terrain. Thanks to their extraordinary strength, ants are among the 3 strongest small animals on the planet. Number 10. Ant lifespan. Depending on the species, habitat conditions, and their function in the nest, ants will have different lifespans. Accordingly, under ideal environmental conditions, each rank of ant will have the following lifespan. Queen ant has a lifespan of up to 10 years, and as long as they are not disturbed or invaded, they can live longer than that. Male ants, they have the shortest lifespan because they only have the function of mating with the queen. They live a lifespan of about 1 week, and after mating with the female, they die pretty quickly. Worker ants, they can live for several months, and during their lifetime, they perform jobs to maintain the nest, such as taking care of queens and ant eggs, building nests, and feeding. Number 11. Ants have their own education. One of the interesting things about ants is that they also have their own education. Most of the worker ants will be in charge of different jobs such as guarding, foraging, taking care of eggs and small ants, etc. However, in order to have these skills, ants will have to go through a study process. In the ant nest, there is also, quote, teacher ants who will guide other ants to do the necessary work. If any ants, quote, fail the exam or study slowly, they will be assigned another job that does not require expertise. Number 12. Slavery in ants. In the ant world, not all ants work hard, but many of them live off the labor of slave ants. To acquire slaves, the ants wage war over nymphs and enslave them when they hatch. Polyergus breviceps is an ant that is unable to take care of itself and its young and cannot even clean its own nest. When attacking another nest, this ant secretes formic acid, which causes panic, collapses the opponent's defenses, and easily snatches the ant larvae. There are also some species of honey ants that take ants of the same species back to their nests and enslave them. For example, Amazon ants often attack Formica ant nests. They will destroy the queen ant and then capture the worker ants as slaves and help their queen raise her children. Number 13. Ants raise other insects. Ants feed on insects such as aphids and caterpillars to obtain the sweet substance they secrete. Like hard-working farmers, ants protect farmed insects from predators and migrate them in flocks. When it's time to harvest the sweetener from the insect swarm, the ants will use their antennae to enjoy the fruits. Ants often bring swarms of insects with them when moving to a new area, just as humans take livestock with them when searching for greener pastures. Number 14. Tactical combat skills. Similar to humans, the world of ants also has fierce wars. When a war occurs, ants know how to fight with different tactics based on the specific situation. Ants can even disrupt chemical signals, causing the opponents to confuse and attack each other. Ants are small, but interesting things about this animal will surprise you. Do you know any more mysteries about ants? Please leave your comment below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now and see you in the next videos.